Hi, I'm Julie from Pennsylvania. I've been living with diabetes for 24 years, and most of that time I've used an insulin pump and a CGM to manage my diabetes. 2 years ago, I was prescribed a GLP-1 off-label. These medications dramatically improved my health by stabilizing glucose swings, decreasing my insulin resistance, and helping to keep my levels in range so many more hours during the day. It's a winning lineup, and my doctors and I don't want to change a thing. Unfortunately, we don't get to control that.
Good morning. My name is Melvin. I'm a type 2 diabetic. I try to manage my diabetes by watching what I eat, increasing exercise and doing exercise that is easy, like riding a bicycle, gardening, walking in my neighborhood. I try to have a environment which reduces pollution. So we try to have encourage people to ride their bicycles instead of driving. Those are some of the things that I do to manage my diabetes.
I'm Jessica Von Goller, and I've had type 1 diabetes for almost 50 years. I use an insulin pump and sensor to manage my diabetes.
My name is Robert. I am a nurse case manager currently working in an acute care hospital. I also have experience working in the community, helping individuals with diabetes to manage their condition.
I'm Shay, and I've lived with diabetes over 16 years. Currently, I use a Dexcom G6 and Omnipod 5 to manage my diabetes.
My name is Amanda Kaufman. I have had type 1 diabetes for almost 12 years, and I use a tandem t:slim insulin pump connected to a Dexcom continuous glucose monitor through Control-IQ technology.
My name is Lauren. My partner has type 1 diabetes, and I'm her caregiver.
My name is Julia. I've had type 1 diabetes for 20 years. I work for Mankind, and I use Afrezza inhaled insulin.
My name is Alfreda, and my connection to diabetes is I have been living with type 2 diabetes for the last 8 years, and I have managed my diabetes through a great physician. She's tried different methods of control, and we've tried metformin, and I'm currently on Rybelsus, and originally at 3 megagrams, but now at 7.
My name is Joshin, and I was diagnosed with both type 1 and type 2 diabetes in 2018. Because of the unique diagnosis, I have to do a lot to manage it. I have a Dexcom G6 sensor, and I take around 6 to 7 shots every day. That's 2 shots of Tresiba and 4 to 5 of Novolog. To manage the type 2 part of things, I have to also take metformin, a shot of Ozempic weekly, and Jardiance daily. These medications, of course, come with lots of side effects, which are really fun to deal with.
legislators to know that to live with diabetes and to stay healthy, we need access to medications and technology that allows us to control our disease. Getting insurance coverage for these prescriptions is all too often a huge barrier for people with diabetes. Diabetes is all about keeping your glucose in a healthy range. It's a tightrope. Too low and you risk immediate danger. Too high and you risk devastating long-term complications. When you have the right tools to manage your disease, diabetes becomes much easier, outcomes improve, and it's life-changing for patients. That's what Afrezza did for me, and all patients should have access to the best tools for them.
What I would like legislators to know about controlling type 2 diabetes is that currently I'm taking Rybelsus. It's a pill, and this pill form is for a 90-day prescription is $1,300. So if you think about a year, that's $5,200 a year. And I am very fortunate to have great medical coverage, but I do want legislators to know the cost of some of these medications.
I would like legislators to know that diabetes is a unique disease where managing it well and having your blood sugar under control one day does not necessarily have any bearing on how well you can manage it the next day. Each day is a completely new struggle, and it's really stressful to deal with that on top of the stressors of everyday life. There is a significant discrepancy between it being an invisible disease to the onlooker and the amount of stress it puts on the patient themselves.
I would like legislators to know that living with type 1 and type 2 diabetes is extremely difficult, and there are a lot of roadblocks that make their lives harder, and if you took their concerns more seriously, it'd be easier on the patients and the caregivers.
Most thoughts about managing diabetes immediately go to medicine, diet, and exercise, but there are actually 42 factors that affect glucose levels. Some are behavioral, some are biological, and on any given day, it's a struggle for people with diabetes to keep all 42 factors in check, making it more important for us to have access to the medicines and the devices that our trusted doctors and our own lived experiences show that we need to properly manage our diabetes.
And I would like legislators to know that if we could have federal buildings, whether they're rented or owned, have bicycle lanes and walking paths, that would make it more accessible for people to exercise as part of their normal routine.
I would like our legislators to know that the greatest service that we could do for individuals with diabetes is to help them to establish and maintain access to preventative care services and to prevent any complications that may arise.
I want legislators to know that there's no one-size-fits-all solution for diabetes because each diabetic has their own unique diabetes. That means it can take a long time to find the right treatments for you, and sometimes you have to take time off of work to get to that right spot. That, of course, only increases the financial burden of being a diabetic.
I want you to know that I've worked really hard for a long time to be healthy and alive. And I worry this will all be taken away from me with a change in my health insurance. I've recently been laid off, and some of my medical providers are no longer in network on my new plan. It's like being halfway through cancer treatment and being told your oncologist is no longer covered by your insurance. This just isn't acceptable.
There are millions of people living with diabetes in the United States, and I'm one. With your help and legislation, we can improve the quality of life of patients and the accessibility to diabetes therapies.